Chosen one, block your focus on my voice right now. That feeling of being unseen, of your truth being hidden. Silence it. I know the atmosphere has been crackling with an urgent energy for the last 72 hours. It's not just loud, it's demanding. Like a drumbeat in your spirit, calling for attention. Maybe you caught your reflection in a window yesterday and felt a strange sense of unfamiliarity. A question in your gut about who you're truly becoming. Feeling an exhaustion that runs deeper than any lack of sleep. Or perhaps you woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning this week, compelled to open your eyes, sensing a presence nearby, like you were being watched, or critically seen. But you couldn't name the urgency. You feel an insistent pull, a demand for recognition. The darkness is screaming at you today for one reason, and one reason only. Archangel Michael has decreed that your true face, your authentic divine identity, is about to be revealed. And the enemy knows it. It all changes in the next 24 hours. The struggle to be seen, the confusion about your purpose, the warfare against your true identity. But listen closely, because this is critical. It's not changing because of fate. It's shifting because of what you have unknowingly activated. Think back to that moment this week when you wanted to step forward, to speak your truth, to let your authentic self be known, but you pulled back, choosing silence or retreat instead. You didn't know it then, but that momentary hiding was a strategic maneuver. That specific act of divine restraint was what sealed the enemy's attempt to define your face. You didn't hide your destiny. You protected its emergence. You did not find this message by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here. Archangel Michael himself directed this transmission to your screen. This is an emergency broadcast, a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the earth, designed to reveal the truth about your face that the enemy has tried to hide. Stay until the very last second of this message, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to deliver Archangel Michael's specific emergency message about your face and its true destiny. I'm going to walk you through the zero compromise audit, so you can recognize the divine blueprint for your identity even when the enemy tried to distort it. And at the end, we'll seal this revelation with a declaration that permanently unmasks your true self. Do not click away. Your future self is begging you to listen, because if you leave now, you might accidentally leave your authentic face shrouded, missing the divine moment when heaven intended to bring it into full light. This is an emergency. Open it quickly. My name is Zerekiel. I've spent years studying the hidden patterns of the spirit realm, the warfare, the awakening, the weapons most people are never taught to use. And I've walked over 10,000 chosen ones through their moment of breakthrough. If this is your first time here, subscribe and hit the notification bell right now. Not because I need the numbers, but because the next message I release might be the one that was written specifically for the war you're fighting tomorrow. You feel suspended, like you're floating in a void where your inner truth struggles to match your outer reality. And in this void, the enemy has started whispering a very specific lie about your face. Listen to your thoughts. He's telling you that the reason you feel so invisible, so unrecognized, is because your true self is too much, too different, or simply not worthy of being fully seen. He's replaying that moment from last week, over and over in your mind. That moment when you tried to express who you truly are, and were met with blank stares. That moment when you felt the urge to share a deeper part of yourself, but pulled back, convinced it would only lead to rejection. The accuser is telling you that your authentic face is a liability. He's telling you that because of who you truly are, you've disqualified yourself from divine recognition, and the blessing has been delayed. But I need you to hear what the divine truth, echoed by Archangel Michael, actually says about your face in this moment. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18 says, "And we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord." Listen to that promise. With unveiled face. The enemy is trying to trick you into believing your face must remain veiled, hidden, and undefined. But that's a deception. You are not meant to be a declaration. Archangel Michael is here to unveil your face. The insistent urgency you feel is not the weight of inadequacy. It's the weight of revelation. It's the tension of a mask being prepared for removal. Right before your true identity is seen by heaven and by earth. You think that moment, when you felt invisible, was a sign of your unimportance. But let me reframe your reality right now. That was not a dismissal. That was a preparation for your divine unveiling. Your face is an emergency. Open it quickly. Hit the like button if you feel this message arrived at the right time. Drop a comment below. What's one moment this week where you felt unseen and now you're wondering if it was protection or suppression? What you just heard wasn't entertainment. It was confirmation. And if you're ready to go deeper, the Chosen One's mantle will show you exactly why God separated you before birth, why the attacks came so early, and what He's unlocking in this season. Code by code, until you're walking the life He already wrote over you. The link is waiting in the first pinned comment, but not for long. You see, the first truth Archangel Michael wants you to grasp is that your face is not a blank canvas waiting for the world to paint upon it. It was inscribed by the divine long before your first breath. The enemy's greatest lie isn't just that you are invisible, it's that you are undefined. A question mark waiting for external validation to provide an answer. But the scripture reminds us, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Your face, your essence, was known, sealed, and approved by heaven itself. You were never meant to be a shapeless shadow. You are a divinely etched blueprint. But here's where the enemy's strategy truly reveals itself. Something most people miss. Those moments you felt unseen, overlooked, or even dismissed. They weren't random rejections. Heaven orchestrates a period of strategic scrutiny, a protective sifting. It's the divine hand drawing you away from environments and people who couldn't handle the raw power of your emerging truth. Think of Joseph. His brothers threw him into a pit, then sold him into slavery. From their perspective, he was rejected, unseen, discarded. But from heaven's perspective, he was being moved from a place where his anointing would have been misused or crushed, into a hidden preparation for a far greater unveiling. His unseen years were not a delay, but a divine incubation, preparing him for a face-to-face encounter with Pharaoh and a nation. And this leads us to something profound. You wear a veil, not to hide from others, but often to hide from the sheer weight of your own destiny. You've mistaken the gravity of your calling for a burden you can't carry. Moses, after descending from Sinai with the 10 Commandments, had to veil his face because the Israelites couldn't bear the radiance of God's glory reflected upon him. But if we're honest, sometimes we veil ourselves not just for others, but because we fear the responsibility, the confronting power of our own divine radiance. We shrink from the very light we're meant to carry. Coming up, we'll confront the silent agreement you've made that keeps this veil in place. And it's not what you think. But wait, before you move forward, you need to see this. You've been desperately seeking your true reflection in the wrong mirrors. The approval of people, the fleeting glow of worldly success, even the distorted glass of past failures. None of these can show you the divine blueprint of your face. They only show you what the world wants to see, or what the enemy wants you to believe. That feeling of confusion isn't because your identity is lost. It's because you've been looking for it in broken fragments. The divine mirror reflects only truth, and until you turn to it, your image will remain obscured. Now, once you understand that, you're ready for the next level of deception. The accuser doesn't just hide your true face, he projects a false face onto you. This isn't just about feeling invisible. It's about wearing a mask that isn't yours. He replays past wounds, social conditioning, and every whisper of inadequacy, building a distorted image born of others' expectations or your own self-doubt. He hopes you'll wear this counterfeit so long that you forget your original. Remember the prodigal son. He didn't just feel unseen. He put on the face of a servant even though he was a son. His true face, his sonship, was only re-established when he returned to the Father's gaze. In just a moment, we'll expose why the very thing you've been avoiding is the gateway to your true face. This brings us to the zero-compromise audit of your own narrative. To truly unveil your face, you must meticulously audit the story you've been telling yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and why your life has unfolded this way. Every storyline not authored by heaven must be discarded. This means confronting the hero or victim roles you've subtly adopted, the self-pity that feels like solace, or the pride that feels like strength. Job, when stripped of everything, initially clung to his narrative of righteousness and suffering. But only when he allowed God to challenge that narrative, to shift his perspective beyond himself, did he truly see his face reflected in God's majesty. And here's the part you probably didn't expect, the one that shifts everything. Your face remains veiled, not primarily because of external attacks or others' opinions, but because you still hold a hidden loyalty. A loyalty to a past version of yourself, or perhaps to people who only knew the masked you. You fear that if you fully transform, if you truly unveil your authentic self, you might lose the familiar, the comfortable, the connections built upon a false foundation. This is the subtle fear of the unfamiliar, the hidden loyalty to the lesser self that keeps your highest self imprisoned. It's the internal tug of war that keeps you from stepping fully into the new. And yet, there's something beneath even that, a truth that will challenge everything you thought you knew. Archangel Michael isn't asking you to gently unveil your face on your own terms. He is initiating a forced exposure through circumstances that demand you show up as your authentic self. The fire isn't just to purify you, it's to burn away the masks, the facades, the false identities that cling to you. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. The fire didn't just preserve them, it consumed the ropes that bound them, leaving only their true selves intact, walking freely in the midst of the impossible. Your true face is forged in the fire of unavoidable authenticity. And just when you think you've got it, there's one more layer, the insight that truly changes everything. The ultimate revelation of your face, the moment heaven truly sees you, often comes in profound solitude. When all external validation is stripped away, when you are alone with the Most High, forced to confront the divine image of yourself, without any filters or distractions. It is in this radical aloneness that your true face emerges, fully recognized by the one who authored it, before the world has a chance to see it. It is the divine contradiction. To be truly seen, you must first become invisible to the world's false metrics, existing only in the gaze of the Creator. It's here, in this sacred solitary space, that you receive the final activation. This is not just about identity, it's about authority. Your unveiled face isn't merely being seen, it's being recognized and empowered for a specific divine assignment. Heaven is bestowing a visage of unshakable truth upon you, a face that carries the weight and the grace of a new level of authority. It's the face of a king stepping onto the throne, not just knowing who he is, but knowing what he has been called to do. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart and declare this with me. I am not a question mark. I am a declaration. I release every false face, every hidden loyalty, and every fear of my own divine glory. I break agreement with the lie that I am unseen or undefined. I step into the fire of my forced exposure, knowing it burns away only what is false. I align with the truth, that my identity was written by heaven, and my face is now unveiled by Archangel Michael. I am ready to be seen. I am ready to walk in my truth. My breakthrough is now.